Day 20, the miracle of your body. Let's start by acknowledging how much you rock. This week's work is a little ego mind-blowing, and I honor you for hanging in there. So give yourself a big pat on the back and say, you did good. All the work you've done this week has prepared you for today. I hope that today's work totally rocks your ego's world. The emphasis of each exercise today is on accepting your body's true function, to be love and extend love. This work will push you far beyond your ego's comfort zone. That's a good thing. By accepting your body's true function, which is to be a messenger for love, you'll likely experience a miraculous shift. Remember that the miracle is a shift from body identification to spirit identification. Even for an instant, you may come to realize that you're not here as a separate body among bodies, but rather as a spirit among spirits. When you turn to your ing for help, you will dissociate from the ego and be guided to use your body as a vehicle for sharing love with the world. Accepting my body's true function has been instrumental in my happiness and sense of purpose. Each time I get on stage to lead a lecture, I say a prayer to my ing. Inner guide, please speak through me and use my body as a vehicle for love. This simple prayer reminds me that lecturing in front of hundreds of people is not about me, but about being a messenger for love. As a result of asking my ing to speak through me, I become a vehicle for a loving message. I often don't remember what I say. My hands go numb. I feel surges of energy pass through my body. My words flow freely, and I deeply connect to the audience. Through this simple prayer, I'm instantly reminded of my body's purpose and leave my ego backstage. You too are a messenger for love. So let's start blasting light on your ego's body image. Morning reflection, day 20. This morning's passage will set the tone for the rest of the day's exercises. For the sake of this exercise, let's light a candle to burn off your old beliefs and shine light on your path. In your meditation space, light a candle. And listen to the following passage. And sit for 1 minute of stillness to let the love settle in. Morning reflection. Today, I accept my true function of my body. I accept that my body is an instrument for extending love. As I heal my own perceptions of my body, I will realize I am a vessel for sharing love with the world. My healing will be extended into the world. Sit for 1 minute of stillness. Affirmation, day 20. I accept the true function of my body. I accept that I am a messenger for love. Let's go big with today's affirmation. Set your miracle moment alarm for every hour on the hour. When the affirmation pops up on your phone or computer screen, take a moment to do the following. Breathe into your body and feel whatever feelings come over you. Say your affirmation out loud or in your mind. Take another deep breath in and see if there is any emotional shift. Write down exactly how you're feeling after you say this affirmation. This exercise is invaluable because it helps you pay attention to how your affirmations can proactively shift your energy. If even the slightest bit of energy shifts within you, it's a miracle. Pay attention to the power of each intention you put forward. As you become more and more accepting of the purpose of your body, you'll experience many energetic shifts. Pay attention to the miracles. Okay, so I'm going to set my alarm for noon. And it's going to say, I accept the true function of my body. I accept that I am a messenger for love. Okay, done. All right, I'm gonna pause this recording really quick and get my, okay, so for those watching this on replay, we just did this little positive morning affirmation. I actually really liked it so much so that I just subscribed to her. It was short, sweet, to the point, but I feel like it hit on a lot of the stuff that I needed to hear.
So yeah, I loved that. Okay, let's do 100 Days to Brave. Divine detours. You know that thing where you think your life is going one way and then something changes? You're maybe like, wait a minute, I thought I was going to be a nurse. Why did I not get, wow, blah, blah, blah. Why did I not get into that nursing school? My standout divine detour happened when I applied to get into the School of Education at University of Georgia. Remember how I told you being a teacher was my lifelong dream? Well, I applied to the School of Education, and I didn't get in the first time. To be fair, I kind of slacked off the first 2 years of college, but I mean, my grades weren't bad. But when I didn't get in, I thought, I've always wanted to be a teacher. What do I do? And it broke my heart because I had never planned for a different career. So I ended up having to explore other things for a couple of months and thinking, okay, my life plan has changed, and that was a divine detour. I had to work through. It was so good for me to work through that even in the painful parts. After a few months, a spot came open in a program and they let me in. So I got to pursue teaching after all. But the Lord has given me divine detours like that more than once, where I've had to walk through and ask the question to myself, what if I don't actually get to do the thing I wanted to do? Divine detours are no fun in the moment, whether they involve dating, work, friendships, church, family. They're a shock. They're a change in plan that you didn't ask for. But the thing is, we need divine detours because it's through the divine detours that God always gets us where we're supposed to go in the long run. God is God, and he loves you. So oftentimes, a divine detour may just be his way to getting you to look up at him and be brave enough to ask the hardest of questions like, God, do I trust you even if I don't understand what you're doing? God sees the whole picture, your whole story, your future. You can trust him. Even when he derails your plan, it's because he is good and he loves you. And it says, be brave. List 2 or 3 divine detours that have happened in your life. As you look back now, can you see how they worked out for your good in the end? I literally can think of teen amounts of divine detours that have happened in my life, to say the least. Okay. So I'm going to do my journaling. I do the same pretty much journaling every day. 10 things I'm thankful for, 10 dreams that I have as if they've already happened, affirmations, and then sometimes I'll like just jot down a few other things on my mind or whatever. But I really like starting with you guys and my coffee and the May Cause Miracles and 100 Days to Brave. I just feel like it gets me in a really good headspace, and I love talking to my distributors, like literally following up with my team and all my key players and all that kind of stuff, and making the push content right after these, because I feel, I don't know about you guys, but I notice that like right after these is when I'm most productive, most creative, most willing to like go balls to the wall. And I've noticed that like literally since day one that we've been doing this. So I try to like do the things that I don't like doing. For example, my messaging. I freaking hate messaging. I hate following up, but I do it because it works. But I try to do it right after this, right after I do the push stuff, so that later it's literally just like replying to people, adding people, more follow-up. You guys, I am so focused on follow-up right now, it's not even funny. Like I sent 20 new messages yesterday, but I sent like 150 follow-ups, and obviously like signed that distributor last night. So follow-ups are huge. They're crucial, especially letting these distributors know about this deal. But I wanted to talk about, I know I put it in the leadership chat, but I wanted to talk to you guys about how I signed the distributor that I signed last night. I don't think I give you enough like start to finish conversations, but I don't really want to put our whole conversation in the push page since she joined. I just feel like it would be awkward. So her name will be anonymous. But she had texted me off of a HAP. Okay, this is what I've been preaching all month that I've been doing is opportunity HAPs and having people text me. I highly suggest doing this. I've gotten probably 10 to 20 new potentials a day just from messaging for HAPs and having them put it up. Okay, you get the point. I said, hey, I'd love to give you more info. Can I ask who I'm speaking with first? And she sent me her name and I said, awesome. Hi, just take this application and let me know when you're done so I can send you all the info. That's literally all I say, you guys. And then I send my milkshake link. So she's immediately getting to read my bio, my background, whatever, and then go through the application process. Okay, that was on Sunday and it's Wednesday. So this has been, 4 days of communication, and all the distributors that I've signed this month are people who have filled out my influencer application. What does that tell us? That these are working. And if you utilize them properly, you will sign. So, okay. Oops, it scrolled me back down. Okay. The reason that I'm going over this with you guys is because number one, I want you to have an example, but number two, I want you to read my confidence in these messages because she was asking me really, really good questions. So I want you to see how I control the conversation and give the info, but not so much so to where it's gonna overwhelm her, if that makes sense. Okay. So she said, sounds good, all done, meaning she filled out the application. And then I messaged her that next morning, because that was at night or whatever. And I was like, good morning, sunshine. I just looked over your application. And then I say something about what they put in their application. For example, I'm not going to read hers because I want to keep her stuff private. But for example, I've seen people put, I want to save for a house for my boyfriend and I, or I have a car that I don't even own anymore that I'm paying negative equity on, and I really want to get out of that, or whatever it is. Excuse me. I put something in there, I'm so sorry to hear about, or I'm so excited to help you get that house that you've so desperately been wanting, whatever. Okay, so I just do a little 1-sentence blurb. And then I say, I think you'd be an amazing fit for this. I'm going to send you the info on how you'd be paid. Let me know what you think. And then I send the full rundown. So you'll notice it's literally, hi, what's your name? Here's the application. Here's the full rundown. There's zero beating around the bush anymore. There's not, hey, did you watch that video that I'm finding a lot of people? I don't know if it's just because my mindset has changed and I'm loving the influence application. Obviously it worked. I've been a mass distributor since the day I joined, and it obviously worked is what I'm trying to say. I don't say that cockily. I just mean it worked for me. But honestly, I think if I had started this then, I would have enrolled probably double the distributors that I would have. Do you see, I'm just amazed at how quickly the conversations are turning over. I started my influencer application last week and I've signed 3 distributors from it. That just, to me, is okay, boom, this is the pot of gold. So I really hope you guys are hearing me out. I know you two have them, but I really hope everybody's hearing me out on these and doing it. I know it takes a second to set up, but it is so worth it. Anyways, I send the full rundown. And she says, I love the idea of making money at home. It sounds so easy, but I'm scared I'm not going to make money like it sounds like I'm going to. Say for some reason my customers aren't buying. Would I still be making money, or is my pay based on customers buying activity? I'm worried about putting money into this and I don't make it back, or something goes wrong and I don't have a little bit of money to help my family as it is. Okay, so that's a hefty message. So what I get out of that message is that she's fearful she's going to put the money in and not make it back. And she's worried about the customer thing, right? So I said, I completely understand where you're coming from. It's really, really important to relate, okay? So I say, I had the exact same fear as you when I first got started. This isn't a 9 to 5. You don't get paid for being a warm body in a seat and not doing the work. Notice again how I'm not telling people what they want to hear. This is the cold, hard truth. This is a business. Okay, this is a 9 to 5. You don't get paid for a warm body being in the seat and not doing the work. This is a business and you get paid for what you produce. I legit turned in cans to get my buy-in because we had already maxed out 3 credit cards and we didn't have enough money to pay our bills, let alone start this. I was afraid, but I took the leap of faith and never looked back. Within a year, I was able to, I like inserted a bunch of stuff, travel to Florida, quit my full-time job. Like I listed off a bunch of things that it's done for me. And I said, you're going to be on a top 25 income earning team internationally. So you're in good hands. If you take my training and do the things I show you how to do, you will be successful. The only way to fail is to never start. What other fears do you have? It's really, really important in all conversations, whether distributor or customer, to end with a question. Every single message should end with a question, pretty much until they enroll. So she said, really just the money. I just quit my job because I couldn't stand it. So I only have this one check before I'm flat broke. How much is it total to start? Okay, again, she's touching on the money. I really want to point out, you guys, that I completely avoided her question about customers' buying activity in her last message. I literally didn't even touch on it. I just talked about what our training process is going to be, and then I showed her the trust that she needs to have in me, right? Okay, I said, it's only $49.50. Our goal is going to be promoting you to Diamond in your first 90 days, which will earn you an average pay of $2,000 a month and a $15,000 bonus. Wouldn't that replace the income that you've lost from your job? And then I said, she's like, okay, you're very reassuring. I'm going to talk it over with my mom and get her input and I'll get back to you. This is normally such a deal breaker. Like typically when I see that message, I'm like, well, lost that one, because the majority of people are so uneducated about what network marketing is. I hate when someone else is looking for someone else's approval to start this business, because likely they're going to steer them away. Or, in my opinion, and this is such a like self-limiting belief, and I'm going to wrap it back around in a sec, but hear me out. This is how I typically have thought about them. And I'm just like, oh my God, like the spouse is going to be like, this is not happening, whatever. Because I've had the conversation this whole time with this girl, not with the mom. If I was able to talk to the mom, there would be no issue. If I was able to talk to the husband, there would be no issue. But the fact that I'm having this whole conversation and the mom knows nothing. Anyways, so this was again, a time where I forced myself to see a different perspective. So I literally had that thought. I said to myself, which I've been preaching to you guys, I'm so glad I don't believe that thought. It was just that simple shift. It was just that one thing that I said to myself that changed everything. I could have continued to have that mindset of that random thought that I had, and I probably would have lost the distributor, because duh, like how often do we preach about what you speak is the house you live in? What you preach comes to fruition. So if you're sitting there telling yourself the whole time while you're waiting for her to get back to you, she's not going to enroll because her mom's going to convince her otherwise. She's not going to enroll because her mom's going to convince her not to. Well, what do you think is going to happen? So I said, I'm so glad, ouch, that I don't believe that thought. I said, I just know how scary it can be to take a risk, but all good things happen in that space. Let me know what you decide. I'd love to help you live your dream life. You deserve it. And I added, I'm quickly running out of spots though, and I don't want you to miss out on any of the bonuses. So I'm going to save you a spot in the meantime. When do you plan to talk to your mama? She goes, in a couple of minutes, I should be able to give you a definite answer within the hour. I was like, sounds good. And then I was like, if she's anything like my mom, she's going to want details. So here's some key points I would touch on. Okay, this is so huge. This piece right here, like literally if you listen to nothing else, listen to this piece. It is so important because this person has absolutely no clue what this company is. So she's going to call up her mom, call up her boyfriend, whoever it is. Hey, I'm thinking about doing this business that I found from some girl on Instagram. Well, what is it? Well, I don't really know, but they like sell products and like get people to join their team. Like that's what they have, this whole preconceived thing, right? So it's just a really weird conversation. So I gave her these points. We're a debt-free billion-dollar health and wellness company. We were in Fortune 500s, Forbes, and Grammy Suites the last few years. We have over 50 all-natural plant-based products. You have the opportunity to earn 5 paychecks a month, as well as that bonus I was telling you about. We have everything from skincare to weight loss, so there's something for everyone. And then I added, P.S. I told the team about you and everyone's excited to welcome you, because we're always excited to welcome somebody new, right? And it gets them excited and makes them feel like this is a fam, which we are. So she said, thank you. I'll let you know ASAP. So make sure you give them key points to touch on. I said, sounds good. She goes, what's the name of this company? I said, It Works Global. This is the next key portion. If they're asking more questions about the company, it's because Mom Joe Schmo is going to look up the company. I don't care if they look up the company. It's not like I'm hiding something or they're going to find something bad. But having said that, there are a million, just like there are a million good videos about It Works, there are a million bad ones. Every company, I don't care if it's Olive Garden, has bad reviews, okay? Even other network marketing companies. A lot of the times, it's customers who weren't explained the 90-day trial by the distributor and are upset because they were locked into something. A lot of times, it's just random different things. So what I did, because I just don't even want any negativity in her line of sight, is like here, for example, I want to ask you guys, when you first started, when I was sent the opportunity video, because I was sent the Alyssa Bilyeu video that I have been sending for 2 years, the next video is why I left It Works as a double diamond. And what do you think that I did? Watched it. And that's a huge part of the reason why I waited a year and a half to join this business. Because not only did I already have a negative preconceived notion because of other network companies that I've done, but then I watched all these horrid videos and none of the good ones. But look, here I am 2 years later doing this full time, completely surrendered to this company. Like, they have my heart. I love everything about this company. So it just goes to show how much that can impact something, right? Like we always talk about, what you fill your mind with is what you're going to be thinking. Well, it's the same thing with the potential. Okay, so anyways, point being, long story short, I said, here's my site if she wants to check it out. I don't typically do this, but because she brought up wanting to look up more information, which I knew that's what she was going to do, I want her going to my site. I want her going and reading my bio on my site. Her mom can see my face. I want her to be going to the products and reading about the products and seeing the ingredients for herself. Again, a lot of these poor reviews, a lot of these negative videos are a lack of education. That's literally it. So when you show people what it really is, their opinion totally changes. So she says, everything looks good so far, just looking into it a little deeper. A huge mistake that I see people make is when people give this reply saying, sounds good, let me know, or okay, or whatever, and then you leave them for the day, and then maybe you forget to follow up, and so 3 days later you follow up with them. Well, they're already a stale potential. And I guess my question always is, after I've sent you the full rundown and my site, what else are you looking for? Because this business is so simple, it literally is all of that info. So I ask, what other questions do you have, or what are you hoping to dig into, with like a kissy face? And she goes, which she wouldn't find this information anywhere. So I feel like this question is so important. She says, I'm wondering if I needed a day off, like something came up, or I was traveling, how do I go about that? We're just making sure that I have the people to give me the opportunity to sell to them, maybe even get them to sign up for it as well. So what I'm hearing in that message is she's going to friends and family and asking if this is something that they would be willing to support her in before she's even started. And she's worried about the days off thing. So I said, you control your business however you want. The best part about this is you create your own schedule. When you have a team and are out of service, etc., I will help them. I'm going to teach you how to find people who want the products and opportunities so you don't have to rely on family and friends. Are you ready to do this with me? I want them to understand. You guys, if I waited until my friends and family were ready to purchase from me, I would not even be executive yet. There is no way in hell. There is one person who orders from me in my family or my friends, one person, and it's my grandma, and it's only because she fell in love with the HSN, and she didn't try it until I was like a year and a half in the company. She literally just started ordering it like 6 months ago, and she canceled her auto ship immediately after her 90 days, and she only places one-time orders with me. So it's like, it's not like I would have 29 BV. Like, I would have nothing. So when people tell me that, I'm like, sis, So, but again, I want you to see how this whole conversation, I have such confidence about the questions I'm asking, about the way that I'm responding and kind of controlling the conversation. Because I'm answering her questions, but I'm not going into detail about how are we going to find these customers? How am I going to show her to enroll the distributors? That's what the training process is for. Okay. One more question. Do we get discounts on products? I said, of course, LOL. 40% off, and you're going to get $150 in free product too. Okay, that's shopping spree. I said, any other questions? Sorry. And she's like, so it's $49.50 plus probably a few for tax and shipping to start, and then $20 each month for the website. But that's everything that would be coming out of my pocket, correct? There's no additional fees. She's asking really, really good questions. Like, she's not fighting me on it. She just genuinely wants to know. I have a feeling she's part green. So I said, yes, exactly, smiley face. And then she immediately replies. And this is the part that I put in the chat, but I really want to reiterate. And I'm a shy person. I really don't like to step out of my comfort zone. Would you say with this opportunity, I would have to do that a lot? Another big mistake that I see people make is not staying true to themselves and telling people what they want to hear. People don't want to hear what they want to hear. You have to show them what they want. You have to show them what they really want to hear, because I don't need to stroke her ego. Just like why would it change the second you enroll where I'm not going to stroke your ego when you're one of my distributors in my organization, but as a potential, I'm going to tell you whatever you want just to get you to join. No, that's so wrong. I treat you guys a certain way because I'm your leader. I say it all the time. I'm not your babysitter. I'm not your mom. I'm not here to stroke anybody's ego. So I said, you're definitely going to be stepping outside of your comfort zone. You don't achieve any of your dreams by staying in a box. Having said that, I'm legit your personal hype man. Haha. I'm going to be cheering you on along with our entire team to give you the support you need. Anyone can do this business, shy or not. I'll legit be holding your hand every step of the way with hearts. And you can see as I'm doing this, like, do you see how my verbiage is too? Like, I'm being really casual and like, I'm legit your biggest cheerleader. I'm not saying like, I don't know, like you can just see that it's really how I talk. I was like, I know you're fearful and that's completely normal. It's going to be scary. This is something you've never done before. It's new and outside the norm, but you said yourself you had to quit your job because you couldn't stand it and you need the money. This will grow. This is going to grow your mind, your wallet, and your life. What other job pays you to help others while working to be your best every day, all while you make your own schedule? And then I immediately sent another message and I said, another question to ask yourself is, do I want to be exactly where I am today in a year? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You're going to have to make a change if you want change. And with my whole heart, I think this is for you. I don't know if you're religious, but God doesn't call the qualified. He calls the called. Or he qualifies the called, excuse me. And you were called. And you all know, I'm not necessarily religious, but I also definitely believe God, universe, higher power, whatever you want to call it, that is definitely true. And I think that really resonated with her. So she goes, okay, and if for any reason I don't want to continue the business, would that cause any problems, or what would happen to my customers? Again, these are such good questions. So I said, I love the questions you're asking. If at any time you want to give up, that I really like to say that. I don't say you want to like stop, whatever. No, you're giving up on yourself. So I'm really like harsh about that word. If at any time you want to give up, you will simply turn off your site. No penalty. I just ask that you give this at least 30 days with me so I can show you how to build your empire. That piece is really important too. She knows I'm setting the expectation before she's even in. She knows she needs to give me 30 days with this. She knows if she wants to stop after that 30 days, she's not going to have to pay a penalty. Like, we're just setting the basis up really well. She says, okay, what's next? So I said, here's my site. Let me know when you're there. And then I walked her through joining, and she joined on the spot. So my tip for today is don't be afraid to have confidence. Don't be afraid to not stroke people's egos. I'm not telling you to be mean by any means. Did you get a wince of negativity from any of my messages? No. But at the same time, I keep it 100. I keep it 100 with you guys. I keep it 100 with my potential distributors, potential loyal customers, just people in my network, on my live videos, on my podcasts, on my anything, TikTok, Twitter. I never frou-frou anything. And I also am so positive. So I think when you have the balance of both, it's like this magical occurrence. So it definitely took a process, a learning curve, lots of time, but you guys will gain the confidence over time, but you'll never know until you try it. And you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So at the end of the day, if they don't join, it's not because of something you said. It's just because this isn't for them yet. Right? That's it. So I'm going to stop this recording.